Sauptika Parva deals with the killing of the Pandava army by Ashwatthama, Kripa, and Kritavarma. This is the 10th Parva from among the 18 Parvas of Mahabharata. This Parva also consists of 3 sub-Parvas. After Duryodhana was fatally wounded by Bhima in the fierce battle of Mace, his loyal allies Ashwatthama, Kripa, and Kritavarma rushed to his side. They found him lying on the battlefield, gravely injured and struggling to breathe. With heavy hearts, they consoled the eldest son of Dhritarashtra, who was in immense pain and despair. In a solemn vow, they promised before him to avenge his suffering and kill the Pandavas, ensuring his legacy would not be forgotten. Ashwatthama, with a fierce determination in his eyes, swore to use all his might and knowledge to bring down their enemies. Kripa and Kritavarma, equally resolute, pledged their unwavering support in this dire mission. This Parva or episodes provides an elaborate description of the 3 warriors, Kritavarma, Ashwatthama, and Kripa. Kritavarma was a central Yadava warrior and chieftain. In the great battle at Kurukshetra, Kritavarma was an ally of the Kauravas against the Pandavas and commanded the Yadava army. He was one of the 3 who survived the entire Kaurava army and had helped Ashwatthama in working out his heinous nighttime massacre of Panchala warriors. In this episode, the slaughter of Drishtadyumna, the Pandava commander-in-chief, Shikhandi and the 5 sons of Draupadi by Ashwatthama, along with Kritavarma, are described in detail. After seeing Duryodhana stretched over the ground with severe pain, his body writhing and his breath shallow, the battlefield was filled with an eerie silence, broken only by his groans of agony. Ashwatthama, filled with rage and sorrow, vowed to Duryodhana to kill the Pandavas and avenge his suffering. His eyes burned with a fierce determination, and his heart was set on a path of vengeance. In his weakened state, Duryodhana asked Kripacharya to fetch a pot of water for a sacred ritual, his voice barely a whisper, yet filled with urgency, and with solemnity, anointed Ashwatthama as the new commander of the Kuru army, entrusting him with the final battle. The ritual was performed with great reverence, marking a pivotal moment in the epic saga. Kripacharya was the chief priest at the court of Hastinapur, as described in the Sauptika Parva of Mahabharata. His mastery in the great battle of Kurukshetra is also narrated. He was appointed to be the teacher and preceptor of Parikshita, the grandson of Arjuna. Kripa was regarded as one of the 8 Kiranjivin, and he was one of the 3 survivors of the Kaurava army, with Kritavarma and Ashwatthama. In the great epic of Mahabharata, Ashwatthama was the son of Guru Dronacharya. Ashwatthama got the permission from the dying Duryodhana to brutally murder Drishtadyumna after the war had officially ended, and he also promised to the king to kill the 5 Pandava brothers. The valiant son of Drona formed the resolution of slaying during the night the slumbering Pandavas and the Panchalas. However, he killed the 5 sons of Draupadi while they were sleeping. After killing the 5 sons of the Pandavas in a brutal and merciless act, Ashwatthama severed their heads. He then brought these severed heads to show his king, Duryodhana, who was lying on the battlefield, gravely wounded and at the point of death. This act was meant to be a final gesture of loyalty and vengeance, hoping to bring some solace to his dying king in their tragic and bloody saga. As Ashwatthama approached, the battlefield was eerily silent, the air thick with the scent of blood and the cries of the fallen. Duryodhana, with his last breaths, looked upon the severed heads, his eyes filled with a mix of sorrow and grim satisfaction. Ashwatthama's heart pounded, knowing this was his final act of devotion in a war that had taken everything from them. When Duryodhana saw the heads of Pandava's sons, he became very unhappy since Ashwatthama had killed the heirs of the Kuru dynasty, and then he gave up his life. With this, the narration of the Sauptika Parva of Mahabharata ends.